7:47, well, right about now. Yeah, so welcome to BT on this Tuesday. Really fascinating story right now. There's a monumental effort right now to move thousands of salmon upstream because of a rock slide that happened in the last fall, really. And Andy Thompson joins us from Fisheries and Oceans Canada. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks very much.
Yeah, so set this up for us. There was a rock slide northwest of Kamloops that affected the spawning grounds of the Chinook and the sockeye. And what happened there?
Yeah, essentially a very large chunk of rock slid off a cliff face. And the cliff face is very tall, and some of the pictures don't show that. It's taller than the Lions Gate Bridge Tower. So a big chunk of rock slid off that and into a fairly narrow area of the Fraser Canyon, and created a blockage in that Fraser Canyon zone that's creating essentially a waterfall that's preventing fish from moving north of it.
So that happened in the fall. It wasn't discovered until June because it's an inaccessible area most of the time, right?
It's a really remote part of the canyon. Like most people know, driving along the Fraser Canyon, they can see the Fraser River. This is an area far away from the highway. There's no roads near this area.
So this time of year, the Chinook and the sockeye are supposed to be moving upstream, but now they've got this major impediment. So talk to us about the effort, which includes some controlled blasts in the area, too.
It really is quite a monumental effort. We probably haven't seen anything like this since the Hell's Gate slide in the 1920s. So what you're seeing is the federal government, provincial agencies, and First Nations working together to try to find whatever method they can to move fish up past this slide. You can see on some of the video just how rough this water is and how much flow is coming down. And so we're looking at ways of doing a controlled blast there, where first of all, the first thing we had to do is make the cliff face safe so that people could work near it. So that we've had rock scalers from various companies doing rock scaling work, trying to make that area safe so crews can work on it. We've also then been able to move rocks that were at the base of the cliff into the water, and also now had to blast rock into the water course to try and create a series of pools so the fish can go up. What we really want to do is create a natural passageway for the fish to get up, because a lot of fish will come and we want them to have that natural fishway. But we have other ways of doing it too. We've constructed a artificial fish ladder out of aluminum that we can lower into that area and bolt it to the rock's face and try to give a fishway course up there. We're hoping to be able to try that sometime this week if our rocks work isn't effective. And then, as you can see on the video, we're trapping fish. The crews working all together, First Nations, the province, and the federal government working together to try and trap fish. You can see in the video there.
These little pens, sort of, right?
Yeah, we created that pen. So that pen was entirely created. We've got a weir put out there to trap fish as they come in, and we're starting to use a fish wheel as well, which is a more effective way of trapping that we've moved into place. And all those trapped fish are being gathered up and put into buckets and helicoptered past the slide. So we've got 2 helicopters working full time. We're moving about 1,200 fish a day past that slide. The unfortunate part is we know more fish are coming, and that we're not going to be able to keep up through helicopter work. So we want to be able to find other methods of getting fish past it.
So if these Chinook and sockeye, if the majority of them don't make it upstream to their spawning grounds, what kind of impact does that have locally?
Well, that's one of the bigger problems about this. Obviously, we have a number of very key stocks north of that slide or upstream of that slide, and we want those fish to get back there in order to keep that populations going. And some of those populations need help, and they're in some trouble. So we're doing everything we can in order to get those fish north. We've also collected some fish for hatcheries, and if we have to do it artificially, propagate them in hatcheries and release them later. But it's a big impact. We have First Nations who rely on those fish north that slide upstream for food, social, and ceremonial purposes, and they're having to restrict their fisheries because there aren't any fish up there. And they too are worried, of course, about the impacts of the slide and what it's going to mean for the long-term health of those stocks.
What a story, man. Yeah. Well, keep us posted on the progress there.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. All right, we'll talk about your viral videos of the day coming up, and watch this. Stay tuned.